Right, a very good evening to you traders. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Welcome to our live stream of MGR Forex Trading. It's a pleasure to be here. And tonight's live stream will be slightly different. This will not be only an evening of technical analysis, although that is definitely part of this live stream, without a doubt. But I mainly want to speak about the psychology behind trading. This is perhaps far more important than any technical analysis webinar or live stream that you may find yourself attending. Because I genuinely believe that most traders are reacting emotionally to markets that they barely understand. So before we get started, let's watch a video, very short clip, about 10 seconds, regarding exactly that. I'll transition to the clip and we can watch that. Very short and sweet. And that's just to kickstart our live stream, get you active, get you interactive and ready to listen and apply yourself. This is going to be a masterclass. Alright, without any further ado, let's hop into exactly where we want to be. Right. Why most traders would never reach consistency. And again, this is a masterclass on financial psychology. What exactly is the unspoken truth of trading? It's the fact that most traders are not failing due to strategy, but rather the internal battles they face. Trading is sadly and profoundly psychological. It is not based entirely on your technical acumen. It is rather a relentless test of discipline and mindset. And the most biggest, or perhaps the biggest illusion that we have on trading, when people first discover trading, they usually see the rewards before they understand the emotional pressure. Most traders are not failing because of strategy. They are failing because they are not prepared for what trading actually requires. Social media often paints a picture of instant wealth and luxurious lifestyles, fueled by rapid profits and funded accounts, of course with your prop firms, etc. And this can set unrealistic expectations for aspiring traders and especially beginner traders. So what is the reality of the markets? We all know that trading will attract people. It will attract them because they usually see the rewards before they understand the emotional pressure attached to it. And most traders are not failing because of their strategy. Once again, it's the fact that they do not understand the discipline that comes with trading. And the forex industry, unfortunately, it sells freedom before, most importantly, before it sells the discipline needed in order to attain that freedom. What does that mean for us? Well, most people, sadly, they imagine the profits and they really imagine the lifestyle required to sustain them. Everybody wants the profits of trading, but very few actually want the lifestyle required to achieve it. What is that lifestyle? It's long hours. It is the inevitable losses and drawdowns that you will experience. The test of patience and, once again, discipline. The words popping up all the time and time again. Battling the fear and the greed that you will experience. Avoiding the overtrading and impulsivity. Wanting to revenge trade because you've just taken a loss. And embracing, I think that's perhaps one of the most important challenges that you will experience as a trader. Embracing the delayed gratification. How many times have we found ourselves wanting to trade, wanting to go ahead and, you know what, just make the money now. Trade NFP and trade CPI and make your money in 2 minutes or in 30 seconds or 10 seconds and walk away. And it happens so often that we actually find ourselves going, and again, I become so passionate about that in the sense that I see so many of my own traders wanting to trade it with the buyers. Of course, there is a way to hedge CPI and NFP, but more so it's about wanting to be right. And that type and that mindset, it has to have a shift. At some point you will burn your fingers. It's a phase that we all go through as a trader on our journey, wanting to be right and ensuring that everything that we do reflects the fact that we do want to see our buyers come to fruition. But again, I have to go and warn you of the fact that you won't always be correct. You will lose. But the discipline to manage risk is what mitigates a significant amount of losses. The only way to be successful in the financial markets is to survive long enough to understand how the financial markets operate, to understand your risk tolerance, and then make the most of that. And that is ultimately how you go ahead, and that's how you find yourself seeing that long-term consistent profitability. And that's what I want to see for all of my traders, not some, for all of them, for each and every single one of them. And that's so important. Moving on to the following slide. The trader's emotional cycle. So of course you first start, you're excited, you have your high hopes, you know, you're getting quick gains, you're seeing the wonderful CPI and NFP results from traders on social media, and you just, you know what, you out here, you got a financial wound, you got some inspiration, and you're here to make some money. And what happens as a result of that? Overconfidence and greed. Taking undue risks, you're deviating from your plan. Maybe you want to risk 5% per day only, or 2% a day. You decide to risk 10% because you want to make 20% or 30%. And then you hit some setbacks. Take the loss of 10%. Oh no, what happens now? Well, maybe I should go back to 5% or 2%. And you realize when you go back to 2%, to make back your 10%, it can take you such a long period of time. Because now maybe you lose another 2 trades of 2%. Now you're down 14%. And you simply just dig that hole deeper and deeper, not realizing that if you treated that 10% loss as a 2% loss, you've only lost 3% in total. It's not that bad when you put it into perspective, but that can occur. But you look at your 40% loss and you decide to yourself, I have to make this back. So now you decide, I'm going to risk 15%. And that's called revenge trading. Now you're making impulsive decisions. Now you have exhausted your ability to make good decisions because you've already experienced these negative results from your initial impulsive decisions. And eventually you lose or you win or you make it back, and you have to reflect. You have to learn from those mistakes. What actually happened? How did it go wrong? What occurred in that scenario? Of course, you went through all of these, the overconfidence and the greed, losses and your frustrations, and it's the worst experience, one of the worst experiences that you can go through, but it is an integral part of your journey as a trader. You got your revenge trading and the burnout and the reflection and the rebuilding, and perhaps the most important, sometimes you have to go through this a few times, isn't it? There are times where you simply have to go through this multiple times until you realize, you know what, I have to make a change. And that is so important. You know, it really is something that changes who you are. And over time, I realized that trading is actually changing you as a person. And it forces you, and trading forces you, it forced me to become a much more disciplined individual. And not just as a trader, but that simply seeps into all other walks of life. You're managing other businesses. You have to be disciplined. You have to make those difficult decisions. And you cannot do so from a place of instability. It comes from being disciplined. So let's go to some common reasons why traders will quit. Rather, I wouldn't say simple perhaps, but I think it's quite self-explanatory. Unrealistic expectations of quick wealth. This is a very simple one. I think we all at some point went through this. We think to ourselves, I mean, if anybody else can do it, surely we can make this money. Surely we can amass this amount of wealth. Surely we can drive that supercar, live in that house, take that vacation. And the reality is that you can. You can do that. It is, in fact, within your reach. But again, you also find yourself, traders will find themselves experiencing emotional fatigue and decision overload. It becomes very difficult to continuously take losing trades and to persevere through that phase and through that particular experience. Difficult thing, absolutely, and I sympathize significantly with traders because I have experienced that myself. I have. But you have to understand there is a bigger picture. And you keep your eyes on that and you persevere. You must have that resolve. A profound lack of patience. This is perhaps a big one. A massively big one. Trading is an industry. If you study 4 years in your career, you can only imagine it might take you 4 years to become profitable in trading, but you have to be consistent. I don't think anybody decides I'm going to invest 100,000 and I'm happy to lose that 100,000 if push comes to shove over 4 years. I don't believe anybody ever has that type of mindset when it comes to investing, but we have that mindset when it comes to our careers. And yeah, it's the exact same ideology really. Are you willing to learn to trade? It's unfortunate because you see the money disappear right before your eyes. But if you jot down the lessons that you've learned over the years, I can assure you after 4 years, you're going to be an exceptionally good trader. The next point, inconsistent execution and strategy. Understandably, you cannot strategy hop 3 times a year. You have to allow the edge to play out at least over a year, 2 years. If the edge is unprofitable, you can simply do the exact opposite of it and you will be profitable. It's so odd. There's a theory that goes out that when you trade in the financial markets, it's either you are right 90% of the time or you are wrong 90% of the time. Either which way, if you can be right or if you can be wrong, you've got a profitable method. You simply have to do the opposite if you are wrong, and if you are right, then that's absolutely fantastic for you. You are a very, very happy trader. But generally speaking, you'll be 50% over the course of a year. If you execute consistently with the exact same strategy, with the exact same rules, the exact same playbook, you should in theory be around 60-70% if your strategy is good. If it is bad, 50%, 40% win rate, dependent on your risk to reward, of course. And that again changes everything over the course of a year. But provided you are consistent with your execution per trade. A very, very important and big part. Gosh, this is one of the most important points, and I think it needs not only mentors or not only beginner traders or even advanced traders, those who have been in the industry for about a couple of years. It can even need your mentors. Harmful comparison to online gurus, to online influencers who are also traders, who also display this huge amount of wealth. And that is something that is exceptionally important. Something that happens quite often as well in that regard. And we must understand that the market reveals emotional weakness very, very quickly. It does. And there's certainly nothing wrong with a desire for a better life. But it does expose that inconsistency. If you're coming from a very bad financial background and you want to improve it, and all blessings to you if you want to do that, is absolutely the mindset that you should have. And if it is the mindset that you do have, that's fantastic. That's exactly what you should be doing in that scenario. But keep in mind that without disciplined execution on a trading strategy, you are bound to lose money. And I want you to comprehend that. This is an industry, this is a business, not a hobby, not a side hustle. It's a business. It's something that you have to find yourself going out and putting in the time, the late nights, the early mornings, and trading. You have to do that. No one else can. Right. Last point was the failure to adapt after setbacks. If you take a loss, it's okay, you move on. That's effectively exactly what they mean in that regard. Okay. And now the greatest part. When you start to learn, we believe we know what we are doing. Maybe you are profitable for some time, couple of months, and you now pivot towards some good sustainable consistency. You have your first quarter being a profitable quarter, and you're pushing through and you're doing well. And that's what you want to see. It's great, it's wonderful. You're now starting to develop that discipline. I can execute on my method of trading, on my playbook, on my methodology, on my strategy, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. And you're establishing a good routine, a trading routine. Every single week, every single day, you wake up in the morning, maybe you cash some trades in Asian session, maybe London, maybe New York, whatever it may be, maybe in the evening session. It all depends, entirely up to you. You journal, you review your trades, very, very important, something that is not discussed often enough, I think, at least not online, perhaps on YouTube or wherever it may be. Journaling is just so important, and certainly putting a pen to paper. You'll notice that the icon is a, if I just move my mouse cursor over the icon is a pen. Pen to paper. There's a massive difference between going ahead and typing it out on an online journal, your Samsung Notes, or whatever it may be, online journal, online notepad. But writing it down in a journal just makes a massive difference, huge difference. Yeah, it is something that it does help significantly. Mastering your emotional management, very, very important. You certainly cannot be trading from a place of instability, whether it be financial, especially emotionally. You must know what you're doing, you must know why you're doing what you are doing, and you must be willing to execute on that, irrespective of what may be happening in your life at that particular point in time. Strategic risk management, you know exactly what your risk is per day, per trade, and how much you are willing to expose your account to the market that you are trading within, whether it be currency, stock indices, stocks, commodities, energies, synthetics, cryptocurrencies, whatever it may be. You are aware of how much you are willing to risk, and you then prioritize the process over the profits. So you know what you're going to risk, you know what your system is, and you apply that particular system, and that is exactly what you want to find yourself doing. I do want to mention that a lot of people generally, and you must understand the motivation behind why one would go into trading in the first place. Why exactly do people find themselves going into trading to begin with? I'll tell you why. One of the main reasons why. Most people enter trading because they are trying to escape work. They're trying to, and they want to, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But you cannot sacrifice your work entirely just to take up trading full time. Do not do that for yourself, to yourself. Like I said, you cannot trade successfully from a place of instability. Perhaps you might have heard the story that people have done that. Sold their house, they sold their car, they invested their last life savings, their pensions into trading. And it worked for them. And well done to them. Big risk, big reward, but at the same time, could you afford the worst case scenario of that particular decision? Generally for us, most of us cannot. We can't lose the house, we can't lose our car. And we certainly cannot lose the life savings. And if you were to sacrifice that, can you live with the consequence of the worst case scenario occurring? But eventually, those who do trading believe or that want to escape work and take up trading, of course they want to live the good life, they go on vacation, just living the good life, having the best supercar, having the nice car, having a nice big house and property, and being able to live a good life, a stress-free life, having the freedom to want to go wherever they would like to go in the world. And there's nothing wrong with having a dream like that. That's perfectly fine. But you will realize eventually that trading itself becomes its own profession. It's not something that you can, do it at the same time. You can to some extent, balance it with your work, etc. But trading in and of itself is not necessarily a side hustle. It's not necessarily something that you do on the side. It's not like investing that you have with your bank that gives you 10% interest per annum. Not at all. It's something that you have to put your time in and ensure that you reap the rewards from investing your time and money into developing that skill set. Let's move on, shall we? Alright, let's move on. So what is the professional trader's mindset? What are the attributes of sustained success? Let's have a look, shall we? It's patience, waiting for high probability setups. Very, very important. Being selective, executing only the best A+ opportunities. Being calm, being decisive, and having unemotional execution. Effectively acting like an AI, acting like a bot, and being routine. Routine works for you at your job. You know what you are expected to do when you go to work. It works in the classroom for the kids, knowing exactly what's going to be happening at that time. It works for university students, it works for students in high school, and it will work for you in your trading as well. And thinking long term, you focusing on growth. You are focusing on not your daily profit and loss, or not what's going to happen today, but you focus on, am I going to be profitable for the first financial quarter of the year, for the second financial quarter of the year? What does that mean? It means 3 months of trading. It means 6 months of trading, perhaps for half the year. It can even mean for the entire year. Will I be profitable? Will I walk away making money for the year? And sadly, many traders, many traders, believe that another strategy will solve their consistency. It is the biggest fallacy that you might be able to experience. Absolute largest fallacy. A trader without any discipline, irrespective of the account size, will destroy the account no matter how good the strategy is. I'll say it again for you. A trader with no discipline will destroy any account size, no matter how good or how profitable the strategy is. And there are various ways that can be unpacked, but I'll leave that to you. Various ways. Let's move on. Right. So what is our vision here at MGR Forex Trading? MGR Forex Trading is committed to fostering a community of disciplined traders through comprehensive education, mentorship, and long-term development. We champion financial literacy and sustainable growth. That is what we are built upon. That is one of the many important pillars that MGR Forex Trading is built on. Sustainable growth, disciplined approaches, and ensuring that you have the foundation you need to succeed as an independent trader, which is the most important thing. Anything can happen to any particular company, or about to say country, and I suppose you could say that's perhaps true as well. But anything can happen, and all you can walk away with is the knowledge that you have in your head, and the knowledge you have, and the skills that you have developed. If you walk away and you say, you know what, Mike, I can trade independently, I can trade by myself, I don't need your guidance, I'm the happiest man in the world. Because that is what I want to build with my traders. Not you following me. You following me. Yes, I perhaps have more experience. Yes, I can make, I'd argue, better decisions. More unemotional decisions. Not better. More unemotional decisions. But ultimately, that's what I want for you. You can come to me, you can say, you know what? We're going to do this on this asset pair. Because here's my analysis. This is what I believe is going to happen. When it does happen, I will execute on that particular asset pair. That is the confidence I want from my traders, and what I get from my traders. And the reason why we build that foundation, upon the foundation, disciplined approaches only. Discipline trumps every single strategy. Doesn't matter whether you have a 90% win rate. If you are not disciplined, you're doubling your account, you are tripling your account, you're not applying risk management, you're just trading however you want to trade. That does not, all's well and good. Make your money. But when you come back to me and you say, you know what, Mike, I messed up. I risked my 50% of the account. After I grew it from 1,000 Rand to 10,000, I'm now down. I only got 3,000 left. And great ROI. Well done. Tone down the risk. Tone down the risk. And I can promise you, you will be a successful trader. Right. So that is our vision here at MGR Forex Trading. It is discipline, not hype. And we are here to build independent and successful traders. And just as I was saying, longevity. Longevity is what is going to keep you in this industry. Not making 10,000 Rand, not making 100,000 Rand a day. No, making a 5,000 Rand a month, making a 10,000 Rand a month. Doing that for 8 months of the year. That is what keeps you consistently profitable and keeps you making money in this industry. That is exactly what it is. Just being able to have that longevity. Thinking long term about how your trading is going to benefit you in that regard. So professional trading usually involves more waiting than what people expect. And trading rewards patience much more than intelligence. I've seen this time and time again. The trader who keeps his approach simple, he knows exactly what is expected of him, it's routine, and he can therefore consistently apply the exact same playbook, the exact same strategy, the exact same methodology. He's the one who is consistently profitable over the more complicated approach, which in theory is far more superior, which in theory could be more superior than the actual very simple method that trader 2 is applying. But it can't be replicated as often. And that is a massive difference. Massive, massive difference. And that changes the profitability significantly. Let's go back, shall we? The journey in trading is arduous, but it is not a sprint. Those who calculate or who cultivate resilience, discipline, and the emotional fortitude to navigate its challenges often find that survival itself is the greatest predictor of eventual success. It is said so beautifully. Survival itself is the greatest predictor of eventual success. It's just beautiful. It really is wonderful, and wow. So at the end of that presentation, what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and play a wonderful video for you all, something that I believe you'll find rather interesting. So let's do that. Let's get to my video.
exactly what Forex is. When you do Forex, you can still get your money instantly. You can still use it. You can still cash out anytime you want. No one takes the money away from you. You still have control of your money. But it allows you to turn your money into more money. So even if you only have $100, if you make 10%, it's still $10 free. It's still free gas. Like, you have no reason to not make money from your money.
And I hope you heard that. I think what I'll do is I'm going to actually play that again with the video so that you actually understand.
That's exactly what Forex is. When you do Forex, you can still get your money instantly. You can still use it. You can still cash out anytime you want. No one takes the money away from you. You still have control of your money. But it allows you to turn your money into more money. So even if you only have $100, if you make 10%, it's still $10 free. It's still free gas. Like, you have no reason to not make money from your money.
You have no reason to not make any money. I think that's a massive takeaway that you can get from that. Modern culture conditions, especially on social media, that's what I mean by modern culture conditions. Social media conditions people to expect results immediately. Remember, delayed gratification. People say they want financial freedom, but emotionally, they still seek instant gratification. They say they want financial freedom, but all they want is the gratification of having money in their hands. You must look at yourself. And are you acting from a place of seeking that? Or are you acting from a place from, I want to go, I want to make money, I want to change my life for the better, and I'm willing to invest years, if necessary, in order to achieve that goal. That is something that is certainly very, very important, very profound, may I add, as well, in that regard. Moving over to a wonderful, what exactly is the path towards success? What is that? What does that look like? And let's go ahead, let's have a look and see what that could be. I need to go into full screen mode on that side, and I will transition right now. What exactly is the path toward success? Website is at www.mgrforextrading.co.za. Every trader starts everywhere. We all have an origin story. It really is something that is obviously very dear to your heart. Whoever you may be, wherever you may be, what exactly got you into wanting to aspire to learn forex trading, to make money from the financial markets as a retail trader? What exactly was that a trigger event? What happened that decided, you know what, let's look into this, let's take this seriously, and let's do it professionally? What could that be? Of course, we all have that as a reason, and whatever your reason may be, whatever your story may be, just note that growth takes time and patience. Every successful trader began as a beginner, facing uncertainty and making mistakes along the way. Learning comes through experience and reflection. Each trade, whether it's profitable or not, offers valuable lessons that shape your development as a trader. Embrace a progress over perfection mindset. Consistent improvement, not flawless execution, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Let's move on, shall we? Once again, what exactly is the importance of discipline? So important. Discipline is the cornerstone of trading success. It transforms knowledge into consistent action and separates professional traders from those who struggle. Without discipline, even the best strategies fail. With it, traders develop the mental fortitude to execute their plans regardless of market conditions or emotional pressures. Discipline creates freedom, and true freedom in trading comes from the structure that discipline provides. When you master your emotions and follow your process, you free yourself from impulsive decisions and reactive behavior that will erode your capital and your confidence. Delayed gratification leads to freedom. Delayed gratification leads to freedom. Professional traders usually take fewer trades than emotional traders. All you need is one good trade per week, even one per month. It depends on your risk to reward. Professional traders are selective executors. They have selective execution. They don't need constant action. And one of the hardest lessons in trading is realizing that sitting on your hands, that inactivity is also a decision. No trade, it can also be a good trade. No trade is also a trade position. Keep that in mind next time you open your charts. Right, let's head back to where we left off. Building a professional trading routine, so very important, very much ignored by traders, but you must have some type of market preparation each and every single day. You have to journal, you have to do your trade reviews, you have to monitor your economic calendars, and there must be some sort of structured trade execution. You cannot go in blindly. You cannot simply go and analyze and decide, you know what, today I'm going to trade and I'm going to do whatever you're going to be doing. No, not at all. You must know exactly what you're going to be doing, know exactly what you are looking for, and then upon that you build the system around it. But most importantly, and I want to transition back to myself, most importantly, you build your trading system around your lifestyle. So many of us are busy professionals. We have our own jobs that we do to feed our families, to uphold our responsibilities, to ensure our duties are correctly performed, whether you're a parent, a mother, a father, auntie, uncle, and you have that level of responsibility. but you build your trading routine around your lifestyle. If you can have a few hours in the morning, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, if you can do that, great. That's your time to perhaps trade. If you have maybe an hour-long break, maybe that's the time for you to use that time to, whilst you're having your lunch, open up your laptop, you analyze, take some trades as well during that time. Maybe you only have time in the late evening, very, very late evening. After your kids are asleep, after all your supper's made and everything's done. That's the time where you can at least have your own some free time to yourself. And whatever it may be, you build your trading routine around your lifestyle. It's such an important component. Honestly, I cannot stress that enough. Yes, there are scalping opportunities throughout the entire day, in the morning, evening, afternoon sessions. But there are also swing opportunities over the course of the week, over the course of the month. And there, of course, are the intraday opportunities that occur over the course of the day, normally 1 or 2 per day or per week. And those occur. So you won't have to worry as much about, will I be available to trade? Trust me, the opportunities are there. You must make that decision. When is the best time for me to go and trade? And it comes down to your lifestyle. Some university students might have time throughout the entire day. Some managers at a company or some workers at a company may not have the entire day at all to use their laptop or their phone. Maybe you are a construction worker, maybe you work in an office, maybe you work in a call center, maybe you work at a school, at a business, whatever it may be. You build the trading around your lifestyle. That's so important. Moving on. Where are we? Risk management and longevity. It has become a rather saturated field. It has been spoken of quite significantly. It is exceptionally important. One cannot really stress the importance of risk management. But of course, you have to protect your trading capital above anything else. Got to manage your emotions, and you need to avoid impulsive decisions. Patience and sustainable growth needs to be on your mind at all times, no matter what happens. It must be there. You really cannot find yourself not doing that. You have to be patient, and you must protect your capital. The moment, and I needed to just transition quickly again. The moment you as a trader focus more on the profit, more on the payout, more on the money than the process, the emotional pressure is going to increase. It will increase, and many traders will fall, and they will fail their funded accounts, and they will lose their money because you are now chasing the payouts. And that's why the first rule in the yellow block, you have to protect your trading capital at all times. That's number one. The first thing you do, you look at a potential trade setup. How much am I willing to risk on this potential trade setup? That's the first thing that goes through your mind. Not, will this go my way? How much money can I make from this? No. How much am I willing to risk? How much you are willing to risk will automatically answer how much you are going to be willing to gain, depending on your risk to reward ratio. Whether it's 1 to 1, 1 to 2, or 1 to 3. If it is 2%, you're going to make around 4%, 6%, or you're going to make 2% or 3%, whatever it may be. But the first thing you do, how much are you willing to expose your account? What percentage of your account are you willing to expose to the financial markets to potentially make a gain or return on that particular account? Whether it be a prop firm account or whether it be your personal trading account, whatever it is. That's the first question you ask. How much am I willing to risk? Alright, let's head over again. Selective prediction or selective execution and patience. What do? A lovely step-by-step form and a step-by-step rule book and rules that you can actually utilize in your own trading journey and overall day of trading. You wait for your confirmation. You might have your setup, you might have your long-term outlook, you might be bullish over the 4-hourly time frame, but you still have to enter your trade. Wait for your confirmation. Avoid the emotional entries. Price is bullish, you may as well place a buy. Wait for the confirmation. Note a trade is valid. If that's the case, that ties in with the second point. Avoid emotional entries. If there is no trade is not a bad thing. It means no exposure of your account to the financial markets. It's actually quite a good thing. And your process over impulse. If there is no trade on NFP, do not decide, because I haven't placed a position yet on NFP, I may as well trade NFP. Don't do that stuff like that. That is just irresponsible. It's just not the type of mindset you have as a trader. Alright, let's go ahead. And this ties in with developing the professional mindset. What exactly does this mean? Let's break it down. Emotional maturity. It underpins decision making and enables traders to respond rather than react to market conditions. Think about that for a second. You are responding rather than reacting to market conditions. I'm going to quickly have a sip of my coffee. Alright. Consistency in approach breeds confidence and calm, allowing traders to navigate markets with clarity. So very important. To be able to navigate the markets with a clear vision, a clear mindset, and being able to then apply the knowledge and strategies that you have learned over the years. Can you emphasize that more? That's the exact same scenario as experience. You start a new job, you don't know much about the industry, don't know much about the company culture. As time goes on, as you spend more months in the company, you get used to company culture, you understand how to perform in your job, and consistency just breeds that confidence. Patience in all trading phases. This is so important. We have beginner traders trying to compete with traders who have been in the industry for many years. That are somewhat advanced now at the moment. You always see it because it's eye candy to you. You know, they're making money, and you're a beginner, you also want to make some money, but you don't have the experience yet to emotionally regulate yourself in order to attain the results of that experienced trader. So that is definitely something that is a very common occurrence. But as long as you have that long-term thinking, it's going to guide you towards your personal actions, towards your personal goals, and in that regard, your actions will then follow suit to ensure that sustainable growth and professional development will take place over time. That is so important. Let's move on. And of course, building long-term success. But before we continue any further, I'm going to go ahead and understand the long-term vision. Let's move over here. What exactly is that long-term vision? It changes the way that you approach the short-term pressures. We're all going to feel it. At CPI, I want to trade. What or how should I go about this? You go about it very simply. You are a part, if you're watching this webinar right now, you are part of MGR Forex Trading. We were never bought for short-term hype. We are here to build successful traders. There are independent traders that do not need the advice from any other mentor, from any other trader. They can rely on their own analysis because the foundation has been laid. They can build their own methods, they can build their own strategies, they can build their own playbooks, because that is the level of education that we very much pride ourselves here at MGR Forex Trading, that I pride myself as the founder and director. I know the methods that I educate my traders work. I have applied them. I've used them. I've spent many years analyzing, getting the back-tested data to ensure it works, getting the forward-tested data to ensure that it works. So, we are here for the long run. Some traders will unfortunately just fall off. And there's the reason as to why 90% of traders in this industry do not succeed. Might be a bit less now, might be a bit more now. Maybe 80% of traders succeed. But 90% of traders do not find themselves being profitable consistently. But all of my traders who have purchased my course, who have undergone my mentorship, are consistently profitable. Each and every single one of them. That is something not many mentors can say about their traders. It's tough, it really is tough. But that is what I do. Will I come across a trader that perhaps may not be profitable? I'll navigate that scenario when the time comes. But so far, all of my traders are profitable traders. And that is so important because a trading education becomes more powerful when it develops the mindset as well. Oh boy. Gosh, let me take a step back. Let me have another sip of my coffee. Gee whiz. To Just contemplate what was just mentioned. A trading education becomes more powerful when it develops the mindset as well. Sure. The vision has to be bigger than a trading signals. It has to be. It has to be bigger than copy trading. It has to be bigger than monetizing the skill that you have. It must be bigger. You have to go ahead, you have to empower the traders that you are working at, that you are mentoring, that I am mentoring. And this perhaps would be a message to all the other mentors in the industry. Empower the traders that you are mentoring. Do not sell the signals. Do not do that. Not to mention that you have to be regulated for you to be providing financial advice. Especially when you are saying signals, you can provide education under RE5 representative license. But to provide financial advice, you are bordering on being a key individual and having your own financial services provider license. I am a representative. I've got an RE5 certification. I can provide financial education, but I cannot tell you exactly where to buy and where to sell. And I'm disclosing that to you publicly, and I'm disclosing that to you as a professional in this industry as well. Because again, yes, we're at MGR Forex Trading, we have our long-term vision, which is awesome, brilliant, but we are also transparent with the community, with the public, and being transparent, we also have to say that all of our traders are profitable. So I guess there's no better way for transparency really in that regard. But yes, let us move on, shall we? Before we all get sidetracked and I keep you here for another 5 hours, which would be fantastic actually. Would be a nice, wonderful masterclass of a good session, of a good live stream. And yeah, you have to build that long-term success. It's going to be the same case, continuous learning and education. If you are a professional, you would know of CPD points, continuous professional development points. If it's required in your workplace, you can only imagine it's going to be required in your trading career as well. You must have discipline in every aspect, very important. Reliable systems and processes, you are over there, and consistency compounds results. We are all very, very well aware of that. What is our vision here at MGR Forex Trading? We are committed to building a community of disciplined, educated traders. Our mission centers on dedicated mentorship and comprehensive financial education, guiding our traders through every stage of their development. We focus on long-term growth rather than quick gains, fostering the patience and consistency that define professional trading. We believe in creating a supportive environment where traders can learn, grow, and hold each other accountable. Through structured mentorship programs and a commitment to sustainable practices, we develop traders who understand that true success is built over time. Our community values discipline, continuous improvement, and the professional mindset required for lasting achievements in the markets. That is our vision here at MGR Forex Trading. Of course, we thank you very much. Now, I left off with a beautiful quote, the most important quote that we have here, just so that you are aware of this. The traders who survive long enough are usually the ones who eventually succeed. The traders who survive long enough are usually the ones who eventually succeed. So if you are still in this industry, perhaps you're unprofitable yet. Perhaps, it's been a journey. Maybe that is the case. And if it is, I want to tell you, well done. You have resolve. You have perseverance. You are resilient. You are still in this industry despite what losses you may have incurred, despite the profits that you have made. You are here, you are back, you are trying your best. And maybe some of you have already given up and decided, I'm going to give it one last chance. I'm going to try again. I take my hat off to you. Well done. That is what you want to see. The resolve of believing in who you are capable of becoming. The resolve of never giving up on yourself. One of the most powerful emotions that you could ever experience. I believe so much in myself that I will not give up. Is that not just beautiful? There it is. Right. Whilst that is underway, I've got a nice short clip for you all.
There's half a year left. So in this next chapter of your life, make sure that you win.
We're going to do it one more time.
There's half a year left. So in this next chapter of your life, make sure that you win.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. And it's so true, isn't it? We're already at the half year mark for 2026. It's a few weeks shy. I know I'm going to win. There's no doubt about that. Make sure you do as well. Join the winning team here at MGR Forex Trading. I'm not going to market my course to you. I'm not going to say join my course, join my mentorship. Stay consistent with your trading. You can succeed without any mentorship at all. It does make the job far easier, being a part of a community that is going to assist you, can keep you profitable and keep you consistent and hold you accountable. And we have a free Discord. We have our course. I'd recommend you go ahead and take up the mentorship. At the same time, go ahead and watch our YouTube videos, and I can assure you, you can learn so much from them. Of course, this is wonderfully prepared, and I really want to give a shout out to my marketing team. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, they are doing such a good job. I really have no words to say to them. They are changing the game entirely. If you just look at this live stream compared to all my previous live streams, so very different. Yeah, I'm still learning the technical part of how to do all these things. I guess technology is really just changing things up quite a bit. But my marketing team, I want to say very, very well done to you. I am thoroughly impressed. Done a phenomenal job, and I am blessed to be working with a team that cares as much about the business as the founder does. We are really going to be going to the moon. And for those who know me personally, we really are going to be going to infinity and beyond. It's a bit of an inside joke. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, eventually you will. In any event, moving on to the final component of our live stream. If you are still here, I want to give you a massive shout out. Leave your name, your surname in the comment section. Leave where you perhaps are currently based in. Are you based in South Africa? Are you based in what province are you based in? You know, give me a shout out. Are you from Cape Town? Are you from Durban, Johannesburg, Bloemfontein? Where are you from? Let me know. And yeah, let's get in touch. Are you from perhaps, you know, international? Are you in the USA? Are you in India? Are you in Vietnam? In Europe someplace? Let me know. Let's get in touch. And of course, you have some giveaways very, very soon. But yeah, there'll be plenty more happening. And with the marketing team that I have at my side, I have no doubt we are going to be reaching for the stars. That is just the way that it is. It's beautiful. Yeah. Let's go ahead and proceed to our final component of the live stream. If you're still here, wonderful. You are blessed. And I can assure you that you will only be profitable. Alright. Let's get into this. Let's get that over to the other side. There we are. Righto. Let's see how things go here, shall we? The most important PDF that you may find yourself coming across. Most traders are reacting emotionally to markets they barely understand. Trading does not only test strategy, it tests identity, patience, discipline, and emotional control. The market does not respond to hope. It does not respond to fear, desperation, or ambition. It does not reward confidence, and it does not punish doubt in the ways traders believe. The market responds to liquidity, structure, volume, timing, institutional behavior, and macroeconomic forces. These are not emotional concepts. They are mechanical realities that operate regardless of how a trader feels about their open positions. Yet most traders approach the market as if it is a conversation they can win through force of will. They trade their feelings. They trade their financial anxiety. They trade their need for validation. And when the market moves against them, they interpret it as a personal attack, rather than a structural event they failed to read. This guide is not about finding a better strategy. It is about understanding why most traders never get close enough to their strategy to execute it properly. It is about the emotional chaos that sits between a trading plan and a trading decision, and it is what it actually takes to close that gap. The illusion of trading freedom. Now, of course, I'm not going to find myself reading verbatim of what is happening. This is a HTML document. I had every intention to create it into a PDF document, but HTML seems to have worked beautifully. It really is unique, it is beautiful, and this is so important. Many traders do not enter the market with a plan. They enter with a financial wound. Gosh. The amount of time and power and power. Wow, that's one word of explaining that, isn't it? The amount of time and perhaps effort that are placed in to creating the materials needed for this live stream is wow. I really dig deep into the foundation of my own trading to be able to share this masterclass with you. It is wow. It shows that every single trader has an origin story, irrespective of the amount of decades within the financial markets. We all do. I have mine. I've not revealed mine yet. I'll keep that for another live stream, perhaps. Maybe not. Honestly, we'll see what happens in that regard. I wanted to go ahead and just tap into a couple of topics that I could not find myself forgetting, and it is exceptionally important that I do not forget these very important scenarios. The fear of missing out causes traders to abandon patience very quickly. The fear of missing out causes traders to abandon patience very quickly. The market will always provide another opportunity. It's up to you to ensure that when it does, you are ready for that opportunity. So important. Do not be afraid of missing your trade setup. If it happens, it happens. Not much you can really do about that. Not much you can do about that at all. And there's a illusion of social media that makes trading seem that it is far more easier than what it really is. Social media usually shows outcomes without showing the emotional pressure behind those outcomes. And as a result, it makes trading seem a lot easier than what it really is. It's tough. It is not easy. But it can become much easier once you master your own emotions and your own tendencies. Then, arguably, it's a walk in the park. Not to mention, and I think we're going to go a little bit more in depth when it comes down to trading, and when it comes down to, you know, just the social media aspect of trading, just very briefly. And this is something that I found to be very, very common with beginner traders. And I want to mention this to you. Perhaps you aren't a beginner, perhaps you already have a couple of years in the industry, but this is still very much applicable to advanced traders, to profitable traders, and even to mentors such as myself as well. Some traders become more focused on appearing successful than improving. And most traders are trying to look profitable before they are actually profitable. Think about that for a moment. Some traders become more focused on appearing successful than improving. And most traders are more focused on appearing profitable than actually being profitable. Do not be that trader. Do not go ahead and post your wins on social media and then forget to close your position, and then you end up taking a break even or closing a break even position because you had to take the screenshot first. Don't be that guy. Do not be that trader. I would implore you not to. Ideally, at least. One of my most favorite scenarios that occur: the market and social media reward totally different trading behavior. The market and social media reward totally different trading behavior. Social media rewards flashy trading. It rewards ill-disciplined trading, and it rewards impulsive trading. But the market rewards disciplined trading. We haven't even tapped into funded accounts, but I think it's something that would be a wonderful thing to tap into. There will be time for additional live streams. I think I might do a couple of more. And before I do, I just wanted to go ahead and share my final perspective before we come to the end of this wonderful live stream. My final perspective is as follows: fast, emotional decisions usually create short-term outcomes. Focus less on becoming rich quickly and more on becoming disciplined completely. And I can assure you, success will come to you and not the other way around. So traders, I think it was a really wonderful live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for staying towards the end. I highly appreciate this. It was a beautiful session, wonderfully prepared for, and I hope you're going to take some value away from this session as well. Apart from that, I do have a few announcements. The first one is my marketing team is the best in the industry. I want to give a shout out to them. They are wonderful people. They do a great job, and I am honestly chuffed to be able to be working with them. I know that we are going to be reaching the stars. We're going to be the leaders in this industry, and all in due time. And that comes into patience. And as the CEO and founder, I cannot be the one to say, be patient, be disciplined, and I am not then displaying those characteristics as the director of this company. I'm patient and disciplined, and I assure you, I will see success. There is no doubt about that. Yeah, that is in that regard. Announcements, I want to mention that live streaming will be coming a lot more often. It will be a lot more frequent. I believe that I will be live streaming on the first week of every single month. So yeah, we'll be doing that, and we'll be doing that for 5 days a week, as was recommended to me by, once again, the wonderful marketing team. So we will be live streaming very, very soon. So of course, this will be the first week. We're going to just have a lovely trial run of this live streaming, see how the view is going to be and everything like that. But don't worry, that's all on my side. We will be doing that for this week, so stay tuned. I'm going to be scheduling some broadcasts over the course of this week. And yeah, today is Wednesday, so we have Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday. And then we'll continue once again from Monday next week. I think I might do the full week next week, or Monday all the way through to Friday. We'll see how things go. I think I'll only be able to manage maybe Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be done for this month of May. And then for the month of June, we will then continue in that first week that leads up to NFP. So we'll be doing that, and then yeah, we'll be getting all the good stuff going. Apart from that, traders, I want to say, you are going to be a profitable trader. In fact, I know you are one. All you need is some time and disciplined practice, and you'll get there without a doubt. MGR Forex Trading, this is Michael Francis, CEO and founder. Totally a privilege and a pleasure to conduct this live stream. Have a wonderful evening. Keep well, keep safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you all in the next live stream. Keep well, guys, and